Tyson Fury is a very, very smart and very crafty so-and-so. I've been saying this for the longest. He's not like Deontay Wilder. Oh no, this is one of the smart fighters out there. Very smart, very crafty. And not only in the ring, even outside the ring, with his mouth, he's able to manipulate people and say things which are blatantly untrue, but say it with such confidence that a certain amount of people are going to believe it. Now, in this interview here with the Boxing News, Tyson Fury says Anthony Joshua won't fight me. This is something he's been saying for a long time, right? He comes out with some absolutely outrageous statements here, which are totally untrue. First of all, he says, they won't fight me. I'm not going to keep talking about him because it's pointless. I've offered the fight umpteen times. It doesn't seem to be happening. So whenever they're ready, they know where to find me. Tyson Fury has offered Anthony Joshua to fight umpteen times? What's this guy talking about? He received an offer from Eddie Hearn. When did he ever make Eddie Hearn or Anthony Joshua an offer to fight? What's this guy talking about? If Tyson Fury had made Anthony Joshua an offer to fight him, he would have been singing it from the rooftops that very day. He would have been all over social media saying, I've called you out, AJ. I've made you this offer. My team have offered you X amount of money. Are you going to accept it? That's what Tyson Fury would do if he'd offered AJ to fight. He ain't been making AJ no umpteen offers. What a load of rubbish. AJ made him an offer, or Eddie Hearn made him an offer, more accurately. Made him an offer when Tyson Fury first got his British license back. And then they looked at it again, I think in the run-up to the Deontay Wilder fight, where they were thinking, well, it wasn't officially announced that Deontay Wilder was going to fight Tyson Fury, but that was the rumor behind the scenes. And Eddie Hearn said that he offered Tyson Fury a flat fee because that's what Tyson Fury asked for. But ultimately, Tyson Fury declined the flat fee. Yeah, he also said that Tyson Fury could get a percentage, a 60-40 percentage if he wants to fight Anthony Joshua. Tyson Fury still decided to go in a different direction. So God knows what Tyson Fury's talking about there. Again, if what he's saying was true, then why on earth wasn't he singing it from the rooftops? Because we know that's Tyson Fury's style. That's what he does. Then he talks about the DAZN in the USA and Sky Sports situation for Anthony Joshua. How does that match up with Tyson Fury's ESPN situation? Well, he says that we're talking about a broadcast that happens on both stations, DAZN and ESPN. Why not? Well, DAZN is a subscription service. ESPN do pay-per-view. They also do subscription with ESPN Plus, but they've started doing pay-per-views. Okay? Now, DAZN for 1 month is like what, $20? How much are the ESPN pay-per-views? How much was Crawford Khan on ESPN pay-per-view? You guys fill me in. Because if it was more than $20, and that's going to be the standard price for an ESPN pay-per-view, then how on earth are they going to have AJ versus Fury on both networks at the same time? Because everyone's just going to get it on DAZN because it's a whole month for $20. Tyson Fury is smart. He knows how much DAZN costs. He knows all about that. So is this a case of Tyson Fury trying to, give the public pie in the sky? And making himself, or trying to make himself look good. So, yeah, I don't buy the stuff that Tyson Fury comes out with. I think he's trying to manipulate the gullible elements of the public, and some of them are going to buy it. I mean, you've got an individual here in the comment section who says, Fury is fighting Schwartz to be mandatory for one of AJ's titles to force the fight. It's not AJ. I bet he thinks he will win. It is Hearn who knows he will lose. I mean, this guy is so uninformed, it's not even funny. Because Tyson Fury just yesterday came out and said that he doesn't fight eliminators. He's way above that. So why would he be fighting Tom Schwartz? to get a mandatory shot at Anthony Joshua. What nonsense. And when you become mandatory, you're on a percentage against the champion. It's usually 20% to 25%. Do you think Tyson Fury would take 25% against Anthony Joshua? Are you mad? Tyson Fury was offered, 40% or the equivalent of against AJ several months ago last year. So now he's going to force the mandatory position and take 25%. What a load of rubbish. The only way that Tyson Fury would ever entertain being, accepting the mandatory position for Anthony Joshua or Deontay Wilder is if one of the sanctioning bodies came forward and said, okay, we're going to make an exception to our rule and we're actually going to mandate that the purse split has to be 60-40 or 50-50. That's what we're going to do. And, that's the only way that Tyson Fury would go down the mandatory route for Anthony Joshua or Deontay Wilder for that matter. And certainly, as we heard again, just yesterday, Tyson Fury said he's not interested in becoming mandatory for the WBC, at least. He's not interested in fighting any eliminators or any of that. Again, not interested in fighting eliminators. So why would he take on Tom Schwartz as an eliminator when he just said he's not interested in fighting eliminators? See, these people are absolutely clueless. Dangerously uninformed. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Is Eddie Hearn afraid that Tyson Fury would beat Anthony Joshua? I think to a certain extent, yes. But I also think that Frank Warren is afraid that Anthony Joshua might beat Tyson Fury. So is Bob Arum. As a promoter, you're always thinking about what if the worst happens, and you're making contingency plans. You're always thinking in terms of risk reward as a promoter, even more so than fighters are. Fighters are warriors. They have a glass is half full mentality. They're not in the business of thinking about, oh God, what if this happens and that happens and it all goes wrong? If your mind is full of doubts, you're never going to make it to the top in boxing and stay at the top. That's not going to happen. If you're going to have longevity at elite level, you need to be someone who is very positive thinking and has incredible self-belief. So fighters like Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, I'm sure they would fancy their chances against each other to varying degrees. But the promoters, it's their job to worry and think, okay, what if my guy gets beat by that guy? So I'm sure that, as I've just said, Frank Warren and Bob Arum are concerned that Tyson Fury could lose to an Anthony Joshua. And I'm sure that Eddie Hearn is concerned to some extent that Anthony Joshua could lose to a Tyson Fury. But there's also the reward of that fight, which might make the risk worth taking. The reward being an enormous amount of money, because that would be just massive if AJ fought Tyson Fury. In the UK, that could sell out. I mean, that would sell out Wembley in a matter of minutes. And there would be, people talking about we need to start building bigger stadiums if events are doing these kind of numbers. The pay-per-view for AJ versus Fury would be absolutely insane in the UK. That might do 2 million buys. Don't know what it'd do in the States, but in the UK, that would do crazy numbers. So that eventually is going to entice one or both sides in terms of the promoters to actually try and make that fight happen. At this point in time, there doesn't seem to be a massive amount of impetus on either side, either by Team Fury or Team Joshua, to make the fight happen anytime soon, particularly Team Fury. Team Joshua, through Eddie Hearn, they made Tyson Fury an offer behind the scenes, which I believe was acknowledged by Fury. They made an offer last year, but they haven't aggressively pursued the Tyson Fury fight the way they've aggressively pursued the Deontay Wilder fight, ostensibly because Anthony Joshua's first goal, or most pressing goal, is to become undisputed champion. After he becomes undisputed champion, I'm sure then he's going to think, well, there's Tyson Fury now. I've got to take care of the Gypsy King, the guy who's running around calling himself the real champion, the lineal. I need to beat him too. But the priority is Deontay Wilder to become undisputed, and then everything else after that. And for Tyson Fury, his priority is to try and catch up to Anthony Joshua in terms of the amount of money that AJ's been making. Because Tyson Fury has been very envious of AJ over the past few years. Anyone with any semblance of objectivity can see that. Yeah, Stevie Wonder could see that. Stevie Wonder could see that. You know, Ray Charles could see that, etc., etc. That Tyson Fury has been very envious of AJ. He has looked at the fact that he was the first one to knock Klitschko off his perch in terms of UK fighters. And he didn't receive the public adulation, nor did he receive the kind of riches that Anthony Joshua received. And he was kind of watching from the sidelines, grinding his teeth with envy in his eyes, thinking that should be me. I should be in that position. Well, Tyson Fury has to blame himself to some extent because he chose to go with Mick Hennessy and Frank Warren at a time when Frank Warren was in a much weaker position than he's in now. Yeah, Frank Warren got him the shot with the WBO. He did well there, no question. But in terms of pushing Tyson Fury as a superstar in the UK and even internationally, Frank Warren wasn't able to do that job the time that he had Fury. Mick Hennessy certainly wasn't able to do that job when he had Fury. So Fury just went with the wrong person. He should have gone with Eddie Hearn. And maybe he would have been as big a star as an Anthony Joshua, you know. And then, of course, you have to factor in Tyson Fury's boxing style. Because since Tyson Fury cleaned up his act and got with his uncle Peter, he hasn't had that many exciting performances, other than maybe the Steve Cunningham fight where Peter wasn't in the corner because Peter couldn't get into the United States. Fury hasn't had many exciting performances, really. He's become much more of a defensive master since then. And that definitely plays in to how popular a fighter can be. Because people don't want to put their hand in their pocket to pay for a pay-per-view or come buy a ticket to watch you fight if they think you're going to hit and hop it for 12 rounds. They want to see blood. They want to see knockouts. They want to see action. And the fact that Tyson Fury isn't really that kind of fighter, for the most part, that definitely hurts him at the box office to a certain extent. Okay, you can make up for it, of course, with your personality like Floyd Mayweather did, because Floyd Mayweather, most of his fights were not particularly compelling, but he antagonized the public to the point where an enormous number of them wanted to see him lose. You know, he played on certain ethnic lines and stuff like that, and that riled people up, and he created this whole circus, if you want to call it that, a pay-per-view circus, where, and I don't mean to call it a circus in the sense that he wasn't he wasn't fighting good fighters. He was fighting good fighters most of the time, but because his fights were not particularly entertaining, he needed to go that extra mile with regards to his outside the ring persona in order to get people to tune in. Because the majority of people buying Mayweather pay-per-views were people buying pay-per-views to hoping to see him lose. That's one of the reasons that Mayweather used to fight Latino fighters so much and fight them on a Latino holiday, well, a Mexican holiday to be specific, Cinco de Mayo. You know, so it was all very clever stuff. Tyson Fury is also a big, bold character, actually a much bigger and bolder character than Mayweather. And he runs his mouth and does this, that, and the other. He doesn't quite have the sophistication in terms of the business model as Mayweather had. And I don't want to give Mayweather all the credit. I'm sure Al Heyman must have played a major part in that. But let's see what Bob Arum and ESPN can do with Tyson Fury in terms of building his profile. Once Tyson Fury's profile is built up to a certain level, if he can get there, then we might see Tyson Fury actively pursuing the AJ fight. We might see that, you know, as long as AJ keeps winning, as long as Fury keeps winning, we could see that scenario unfold. But then again, maybe not. You know, you let me know what you guys think. The bottom line is, I do not think that Tyson Fury or his team have any serious intention at this point of pursuing the AJ fight. And I don't think AJ's team are particularly interested in Tyson Fury at this moment. They're far more interested in Deontay Wilder. And the ESPN DAZN situation could present a stumbling block to make AJ versus Fury, although Eddie Hearn has said that he wouldn't stop AJ fighting on a different network. He would like AJ to be on DAZN long term, but he wouldn't stop. He wouldn't allow AJ's association with DAZN to block a super fight. So we'll see whether Eddie Hearn is true to that. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. It's happening, I'm out. Join me on Patreon. I upload a minimum of 2 podcasts every single week, covering a wide variety of controversial topics, as well as live stream Q&A sessions. Take a look on screen right now at some of the podcasts I've produced so far. For just $3 a month, the equivalent of about £2 a month, you get access to all my new podcasts and my entire back catalogue of past podcasts, including my popular Confessions of a Nightclub Bouncer series. You can listen on your computer or on your smartphone or tablet by downloading the Patreon app from the Google Play Store or the App Store for free. The Patreon app also allows you to download each podcast in MP3. For less than the price of a cup of coffee, you get access to dozens of hours of exclusive content. It's easy to sign up, there's no contract, and you can cancel at any time. So come and join our community of free and critical thinkers by signing up with me here on Patreon today.